Villa's striker situation is painful, probably to say the least. I mean, it's so bad that if you go on our actual official website, go to teams, click the men's team, go down to the forwards, you will see it is just one man, and that is Ollie Watkins. There's no other strikers, senior strikers at least, in the Aston Villa team. And you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail. Ollie Watkins has been injured on international duty with England. And his time frame for recovery, although currently on loan? He's not on loan. He is on loan to Injured FC, unknown. Looking at the mechanics of the injury, the fact he's just been sent straight home, it's not looking great. So we're going to be diving in to that today. How is this Ollie Watkins injury going to impact Aston Villa? Now you might think, doesn't matter. We've got Donyell Marlon, right, who's on fine form. He's scored 2 goals for Villa against Burnley. He scored for the Netherlands in this international break. However, his best games for Villa really haven't come as a number 9. I don't think Emery particularly sees him as a number 9, so that's going to be interesting to dive into. If you are enjoying all the Aston Villa content, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe down below. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers. The support since I've been back has been really, really fantastic, considering I was just gone for a month. I do apologise again. So again, share it round, get that like, get that subscribe, all clicked off and good. Let's have a little look at the Ollie Watkins injury. Now, as long as it doesn't get my channel copyright striked, I'll overlay the video. It is a typical Ollie Watkins miss, I have to say. We've been watching him do it at Villa for 5 seasons. He misses from about 2 yards out, scores the hard ones, misses the easy ones, but then he collides with the goalpost. And I mean, I don't know whether because of my injury, the mechanics of my injury were football falling on my shoulder, but he's kind of hit his knee like here. And if, I mean, anyone at home, I mean, I don't really want to do a yoga session with you. Welcome to yoga by Rogers Reports. No, but if you feel right there, you know, you can tell it's right underneath the knee. It's where the, God, I'm going to get this wrong. I done my PT course about 10 years ago, where the, I think it's the tibia meets the sort of knee joint. It's not good to have a hard impact there. There's ligaments, there's bone, there's cartilage, there's muscle. There's everything that can go wrong. And he has, like I say, and you can see on the screen in the article, been sent home from the England squad. He's medically ruled out, injured, can't feature in the second game. And we have a massive game against the Tottenham Hotspurs on Sunday in the Premier League. And I think if I was a betting man, which I am not, I would say that he's probably not going to be fit in time for that game. So what on earth do we do? So this is how Aston Villa currently line up, and we have been doing over the past season, and a little bit of change on top of that as well. And as you can see, we play with the one striker, the one focal man. And again, excuse me, I have been having to do all of this with my left hand. That has been Watkins 9 times out of 10. The only time really in meaningful games that it hasn't been Watkins occupying that spot was when it was Duran, and we started to transfer our playing style into this style of play. And that's important because we're going to come back to that. And now the reason why I don't think we're just going to see a straight swap and Donyell Marlon come in is because Marlon has been playing best, in my opinion, and he played against Burnley in this role, as that support striker, that shadow striker, second striker, whatever you want to call it, or out on the right-hand side. But it's generally when Watkins is in the team as well. Now, we're pretty stacked in terms of wingers. Now, Jadon Sancho, I could do a whole video on what's going on with him, but in like a really, really short, boiled down version. I don't think we're going to be seeing him back in the squad for a little while. Aston Villa have been saying that he has been ill, or has been come down with a sickness. That has lasted 2 to 3 weeks. And if you go on Twitter, you will quickly find out, just for a quick search of his name, that his current partner is a rapper called like Sweetie or something. I can't remember. It's Shorty, Sweetie. It's like something like that. And she has been accused by one of her very close friends of being an escort in essence, and being put onto Jadon Sancho to exploit him for as much money as possible when he paid for her, and there's all this kind of weird stuff and she owes people money. He's not ill, let's put it that way. So I don't think he's going to be back for a little while, and that means the left wing spot is probably going to continue to be occupied by this man, because he might be an option, Rodgers, to come in and play up front. He's done it before, again, before we changed system, which is something we're going to come back to. I'm planting the seeds, guys. Trust me, the oak tree is going to grow. But I think Rodgers is going to stay out on that left-hand side. Now, on the right-hand side is a little bit more interesting. Like I said, I don't think we're going to see Sancho, but we have currently this man. Now, you might think, well, Mr. Rodgers reports, what about Evan Guasson? Well, he actually used to play as a striker over in Ligue 1 before he transitioned into being out on the wing, more of an inside forward on the wing. But he's big, he's a focal point. He actually has a very good first touch. It's one of the few things I've been really impressed with Evan during his very short time at Aston Villa, is his first touch and his hold-up play. So he would probably be my choice if I had to pick one out of the starting lineup right now. I would probably chuck Guasson in there, have Marlon play off of him, the pacey one playing off of the big hold-up man. It's tried and tested, right? Elliott out on the right, and then Rodgers out on the left. Now, why do I think this could work even better? It's because we kind of changed system. We kind of changed tact against Burnley, going back to how we used to play in that 2023-2024 season. And that would have us line up something like this, with Guasson and Marlon up front, and then Rodgers and Elliott dropping back into that classic 4-4-2. That was the big thing that we done. When we had John Duran, it was always, can John Duran play with Ollie Watkins in Villa's 4-4-2? Well, Guasson and Marlon, for me, it's the big man, little man, target man, pace, merchant combination that has been since the era of Peter Crouch and Jermaine Defoe at Portsmouth. You know, that's the one that I just... God, it was so beautiful to watch. Can Rodgers be Nico Crankjar? I don't know. But it works, right? It works, it's tried, it's tested, and Villa done very, very well with it. Now, why I like this, as a preference to sticking with the 4-2-3-1 and maybe shoehorning some different players into positions, or shoving Marlon up front, and I don't think Marlon does that well when he's up front, isolated by himself. Watkins doesn't really either at the moment, but Marlon definitely not. That's not his game style for my liking, for my opinion. I think Rodgers and Elliott will work really well in that flat four. Elliott has played a lot of games being like a centre mid for Liverpool, so he can easily come in and tuck in there when a certain Matty Cash, who's not going to play right back for an entire 90 minutes, pushes forward, and possibly Lamar Bagard, maybe John McGinn, drops in a little bit deeper. And then you kind of, it's like the 4-4-2 just kind of stays, but Elliott just stays and is a bit more of a provider, a bit more of a maestro from a little bit deeper in the pitch. But if we get this back to how it is as well, you can also take Elliott out of there really, really easy and shove John McGinn. And he does the exact same thing. So that would probably be my ideal solution for this Watkins thing. And I think if it works, he might not even get back into the squad when he's not squad. That is ridiculous, outrageous. Hold my hands up, arrest me. The team, like Duran, like Rashford, pushed him out of the team. It looks all right to me. I mean, there's one other option, which I don't think is going to happen, and that's bringing in, I'm just going to take Guasson out because he's there, but that's bringing in Rory Wilson from the 21s. Don't see it happening, but I think my way is not too bad. And that brings me on to the final segment of this video, which is this Watkins injury a massive, massive hindrance to Villa, or is it somewhat of a blessing in disguise? I think we've been too over-reliant on Watkins over the past 5 seasons, and we've got lucky because he has been absolutely brilliant in patches and a majority of that time. But this season, 1 goal in 7 games in the Premier League, completely outshone by Donyell Marlon in that Burnley game. I think you could have genuinely taken him off the pitch and we still win 2-1. And we're still relying on him. He's still getting a lot of minutes. This might force Emery into a bit of a change, a bit of reinvigoration. Because I'm going to talk about it in my international recap video, which I'll probably film on Wednesday morning, because then I think all the internationals are done. I want to wait till they're all done to recap all of the internationals. But why are Watkins and Rodgers playing like with a smile for England but not for Villa? And if there's some of that going on at Villa, Marlon and Guasson, 2 up front, it could light a spark. But what do you think? Comment down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.